This is the storm that produced the tornado.
At the St. Louis National Weather Service office in Weldon Spring, Alex Elmore has spent plenty of time studying the May 16th tornado.
There was a lot of damage, and far more than our survey teams could fully wrap their heads around.
The tornado devastated much of St. Louis's north side, so much so it was hard to do an initial damage assessment. But using new and historic satellite imagery, the NWS now says the tornado was 80% wider than initially thought, going from a mile wide to 1.8 miles wide.
That now puts it at the widest tornado that we have in the St. Louis area.
To put this in perspective, you could fit 10 Busch stadiums inside the width of this tornado. The NWS saying this is the widest tornado in Missouri history since reliable records began in 1950. He says typically their damage assessments takes anywhere from a few days to a few weeks, but this one took almost a year to complete.
Why was this one so much different?
Just the breadth of the damage, just the width of the damage track and the magnitude of the damage, as well as the fact that we did have those straight line winds coincident with the tornado, just trying to differentiate between those two types of damage.
Following the news, we spoke to Eric Hanley, who's one of the residents whose home is now in the path of the tornado.
They actually had, chainsaws out. They did what they can. And we've seen fire departments just move from one area to the next. They were getting calls after calls after calls.
He recalled what he remembers that day and is optimistic North City residents will soon get access to some Rams settlement money.
They're getting spirits back and getting some hope. And like I say, some funding is coming through, but it's kind of like a slow drag.
But we asked local leaders, will this news bring more federal money? Well, the Missouri Department of Public Safety says the width or rating of a tornado does not affect the amount of assistance or eligibility for assistance. Meanwhile, Congressman Wesley Bell says since day one, myself and my team have continued looking into every pot of resources to help folks in our district rebuild after the tornado, and we will continue to fight for the region. Now, Elmore says the National Weather Service does these assessments, even if they're done a year after the event happens, to ensure they better inform the public about future storms.
In case we see a signal like this again, that we have a better idea of what's going on.
The new assessment also found over 10,000 new damage points than previously known. In North City, John Kipper, First Alert 4.